guys, it's Amanda. I wanted to show you guys real quick, hopefully, how I did my chevron accent nail. Just to show you what's on here. As a base, I used the color Amalia. It is like a green blue, really beautiful. I did 2 coats of that, and then for the actual chevron, I used Chandelier, which is a sparkly silver. It contrasts really nice. You want to kind of pick something that is not going to blend, because then you won't see your chevron. You want to pick something that contrasts against it. So a black and a white, the blue and the silver, a pink and a gold, something like that, something that'll really show up. On my other nails, I have 2 coats of Amalia followed by a coat of Seacrest, which is a beautiful sparkly blue-green. So this combination I really like. I'm going to show you on my thumbnail, and I'm going to actually bring this over here so I have something to kind of put my nail on. And hopefully you guys can see how this goes. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a dotting tool. This is one of the dotting tools that come in a set of 2. Actually, let me show you that real quick. It comes in a set of 2 dotting tools. It comes in a great little case. The dotting tools have different size dots depending upon which tool you use. Some are great for making hearts. I made a shamrock. This one that I'm going to use is actually the smallest point. You can see it's kind of a medium size on the other end, but we're going to use the smallest one. What you want to do is you want to get your polish. This is the polish I'm using. You want to kind of roll it real quick to get the polish mixed well. Then what I like to do is I just kind of sit my polish upside down while I'm working. So I'll have this off to the side. But just to show you real quick, what you want to do is you want to take your dotting tool and just kind of roll it here so you can get some of the polish on it. So let's see if that will focus. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me try that again. There we go. So you just want to roll it so that you have some of the polish to work with. So let's bring this back over here. Working on your thumb is a little more difficult than working on anything else, just because you kind of need something to set it on. You don't want to be doing this up in the air. So here's my little hack. I worked on this a few times last night, and I found that my chevron was uneven most of the time that I tried it. I would start at one end, make my triangle, and then by the time I was making my next one, they didn't match up. So this is what I did. I started with the dotting tool, and I made a dot. And then I made another dot, and a third dot. I tried to keep them, you know, straight in a line. And that kind of helps to keep that as my center of my chevron. If I have enough space, I can go back and add the next one, but I'm going to try to do my chevron first and see. So you kind of want to remember that a dotting tool is not necessarily a paintbrush. You can push the paint with it, but you can't sweep like you would a brush. You just want to go from the middle to one side to the other, or one to the edge, making kind of a triangle shape. So that's not super perfect because the other side is a little bit thicker, so you can kind of go back over it, thicken it up a little bit, and then I come back to the center and kind of make it at a point. So there is my first chevron. Then I go back, get some more polish on the dotting tool. Same thing on this end. Now, with all nail art, practice makes perfect. Don't go crazy if it's not working the way you want to. This is my first time doing chevrons, last night was, and I can tell you I probably spent an hour on one nail. But as soon as I kind of figured out making the dots first, it all went a lot faster. I think I put it on and took it off probably like 3 times before it occurred to me to maybe make the dots first. Also, it doesn't have to be super perfect. I am a bit of a perfectionist, so I do have a tendency to take mine off if I don't like it and try again. But the nice thing about using GelMoment and gel polish in general is that it doesn't dry, so it stays nice and wet. So you can go back and play with it, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I have 3 lines of my chevron. Again, you can kind of go back and perfect it a little bit if you look at it and you're not happy. There you go, so that's a little bit better. I do have enough room, so I'm going to make another dot. It kind of depends on how long your nails are, how many chevrons you do. I tend to like 3 to 4, unless you're doing like a big bold design. 4 seems to look really good, I think. But here we go. And sometimes after your polish is sat upside down for a while, you might want to dip it back in or turn it around and start using the other side of the brush to get some more paint. There we go. And if you can see, I'm just kind of wiggling it back and forth to try to get the paint off of the dotting tool. And then making sure that I have points. Okay, that is my chevron. So again, you can go back and kind of fix it a little bit, tweak it, whatever you think you need to do. Once you're happy with it, you just go ahead and pop it in your GelMoment lamp and cure it. And then you'll have kind of ridges. So it'll be a little bit bumpy because you have an extra layer of polish. And what you want to do after that, because you don't want those ridges to get caught and chip and stuff like that, you would want to try to put a coat of Clearly Frisky over top, which is our clear gel polish. But instead of curing it, I am actually going to show you how easy it is if you make a mistake. So let's say well, first of all, I'm going to wipe off the GelMoment cleanser pads. Are amazing for this, but just to have on hand and wipe stuff off. But you can kind of go back in and just wipe off what you're not happy with. Let's say I decide I want to go with 3 chevrons, or I want to redo my chevron. There you go, you can wipe it off. That easy. If it's not been cured yet, it's not dry. The only thing I will tell you about wiping it off is you have to be very careful that you don't run into, you know, the other line, because then you're gonna spend some time cleaning it up. The more rubbing alcohol you have, the more saturated your pad is, the easier it is to get the glitter off. So if you're finding that you have like splotches, maybe dip it in some rubbing alcohol or open up a new pad, because this one's been open a little bit, it's starting to dry. But let's say you do the chevrons and decide you don't love it at all. You can wipe it off and you are back to square one. Then you can decide to just leave the polish as it is or paint another color over top, whatever it is you like. But it's that easy when you're doing nail art. Don't stress about it, because it's really easy to take it off and redo it until you love what you have. So that's it. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.